excited to get back on the mound. Excited to see the fans, to see everybody. I think it's just a lot of excitement.
Front row on the right here.
Robbie, how surreal have the past 24 hours been for you? I mean, coming back here, the success you had, and, the ups and downs of 2020 and everything. I mean, this was an organization that you kind of got back on track with.
Yeah. I'm more. I think I'm more excited for where our team is at and what we've accomplished to this point. For me, I'm proud of those guys in the locker room and what they've done, all the adversity that we've gone through this year with, some injuries that we've had to deal with. And, for me, it's all about the guys in that clubhouse.
About 4 rows back on the right.
Hey, Robbie, thinking back to your last playoff outing, it was brief, but it was really good. And it was in front of nobody in a playoff series. It seemed to be over in a heartbeat. So much has changed for you since then. But how different a pitcher are you now? How different a person are you now?
Yeah, I think 2020, it was in Tampa, no fans. That was, before the changes that I had made as a pitcher, the delivery changes that I had made. So yeah, I mean, I think for me, the past 2 years that I've had, there's been a lot of growth. Obviously last year, the success that I had this year, being able to make some changes throughout the year to adapt and kind of change the pitching repertoire. I feel like there has been a lot that's changed since then.
Robbie, you played here when this place is loud and rocking, but your teammates also seem to thrive no matter what when there's just people there. How will you guys handle it, or what are you expecting from your team now when you know that this place is going to be very loud?
Yeah, I think you just have to control your emotions, not let the situation get too big, not let the crowd control how you're feeling about the game. It's obviously going to be very loud here. I mean, the roof's closed. They're going to be packed out. They're going to be the fans here are loud. They love baseball. They love the Blue Jays. So it's going to be loud. And I think for me, it's just understanding that we're still playing baseball, and this is we just have to continue to play the way that we have that has gotten us here. And like I said, not letting the situation get too big. Not letting the crowd control the narrative.
Front row on the left here.
Robbie, can you go at all into why you chose Seattle instead of Toronto when it was time to sign a new contract? And did the restrictions in Canada because of the pandemic play into that?
Yeah, I mean, I chose Seattle. We had played a series last year there. Late in the season, the fans were loud. It was a fun atmosphere. Seeing the team, talking to guys, it seemed like a really good fit. And obviously, the financials behind it were a big part of it too, because I'm trying to set up my family for a long time. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. That was a big part of it, the money aspect of it as well. Those were kind of the two biggest factors for me.
Far right over there, Robbie.
Hey, Robbie. Welcome back. And just obviously this lineup really well. They know you. I know you're a different pitcher a little bit this year, but how does familiarity play into how you're game planning them and how you think they're game planning you? Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. For sure. I faced them earlier in the year and had some success, but, it's obviously this lineup is a really good lineup. They can hit the ball really well. So I think for me, it's just focusing on one pitch at a time. That's my game plan going into every single game and executing one pitch, not trying to be 2-3 pitches ahead of guys. I just need to focus on, what I need to accomplish, and that's executing one pitch at a time.
I know that you have to, like you said, pitch your game and do that stuff. Does your mindset change at all if tomorrow is do or die?
No, it's the same. I mean, I treat every game the same. I mean, I go out there, and my goal is to put up zeros and give my team a chance to win, get as deep as I can into games, and regardless of the situation, that's my number one goal.
And well, I don't know. As pitchers, I know you generally, when you were here, your relationship is with Pete and Bush, as far as the coaching staff is concerned. But can you speak at all to John Schneider? Did you have a relationship with him? Are you surprised to see that he's taken over? Or?
No, I ultimately thought that he would be in a manager position. I didn't necessarily think it would be here or where it would be, but I felt like he was built to be a manager somewhere. I mean, he was the communication with him, even in the position he was in when I was there, was great. It was top notch. It's what you want from staff, and you could just tell that the players really respected him and cared about what he had to say, and it was evident by the way he carried himself that he was destined for a manager job.
We're in the front left.
Robbie, when you signed with Toronto, it was a sort of bet on yourself kind of contract. How much good did this team and staff do for you in terms of maybe just helping you achieve more and reaching another level?
Yeah, it was honestly, they allowed me to kind of be myself and learn some things on the fly and learn a little bit about myself that I hadn't known. And I think that for me that was kind of something that was missing. It seemed like you need to do this, and with the Blue Jays it was, we're just going to let you be yourself, as far as your workout routine, your pitches that you choose, game planning, stuff like that. It was kind of on me, and they just allowed me to kind of be what I needed to be and let me learn what it really means to be here and to take ownership of what I do. And, that's exactly what I needed at the time.
On the back on the right.
Hey, Robbie, obviously you didn't get to make your return during the regular season. Have you thought at all about how the crowd might welcome you back tomorrow?
Honestly, no. I mean, I would think that it would be pretty positive, but I mean, again, this is a playoff, so it could be a lot of boos for sure.
Anything else for Robbie? One in front here.
Robbie, when you signed here, you talked about wanting to lead and everything, and Scott talked just recently about how you've really kind of stepped it up outside of just the rotation over the past few months. What allowed yourself to be comfortable in your skin and really kind of take ownership of that and lead the rest of the clubhouse as well?
Yeah, I think it's just developing those relationships with the guys around me in the clubhouse. I think it's, walking the walk, not just talking about it. I think for me it was just getting the guys comfortable around me and then just being able to kind of slide into that position of where guys start to listen. And when you start talking, the whole room listens. And I think it just had to develop from a little bit of comfortability with each other. I mean, it takes time to develop that relationship, and I feel like, honestly, that's probably one of the quickest I've ever experienced, of guys welcoming you and feeling comfortable around you.
Okay, we'll go one more for Robbie, back on the right over there.
Robbie, there's a possibility that Kevin Gausman pitches against you tomorrow. Does it add any extra intrigue for you that it may be you against the guy they signed to replace you that same week you left?
No.
All right, if I can get a follow-up, maybe a longer answer. I saw back in the hallway how your eyes lit up when Hyunjin was calling you and you went back and hugged him. Did he or anybody else here have an especially large impact on you player-wise when you played here?
Yeah, Hyunjin was great. That relationship has continued even past me leaving, and we call each other, text each other. There was a special group that we had last year, and I still stay in touch with some guys over there, and who doesn't love Hyunjin? He's a great human being. He's awesome, and he took care of me. He always brings a smile to your face when you see him, and it's for me being able to see him today and give him a big hug was awesome.
All right.
Hey, JP. Sitting here where you are today, I think you, amongst other guys on the team that have been around for a while, can kind of appreciate the journey it took to get here. Through 2019, which was kind of a transitory year with some guys that weren't going to be here long term. But what's the satisfaction level of having gone through that rebuild and come out the other end?
Oh, it means everything. To finally know that our work is, being accomplished every day that we put in. And but it's just the first step. We're not satisfied of just being here. We want to move on and win the World Series. That's our ultimate goal.
Just to the right of middle, Jay.
JP, how would you describe the mood of the team the last couple of days? Nervous, excited? What's the vibe?
Oh, we're excited. We have a bunch of young guys that are just really excited to get out there. Not too many of our team has been in this position before, so a lot of us really don't know how to feel. So, yeah, we're just anxious and really excited to get out there.
We'll go in the front, far right.
JP, is it better just not to know? Not to have that experience on some level, just go out there and play baseball instead of getting caught up in the whole aspect of what's at stake?
Oh, yeah. You got to trick yourself a little bit. Just treat it like another day at the yard, like another day at the office. You can't get too hyped up, and, then your feelings start going everywhere. So, yes, at least I just try to treat it like another day.
JP, you of all people on this team, when you guys were going through your tough stretch in May, in this very building and into June, always had the confidence that you would turn it around. What about this team gave you that conviction and the character in the clubhouse that you guys would get to this point?
I think the way that we just go about our craft and our work every day. Everyone works their butts off every day, and everyone's prepared for the game, and you can't ask for more than that. And to have a team that's fully committed to one goal at the end of the day, it says a lot.
In the back in the middle, JP.
Not to have you give away any trade secrets, but what's your success today, the key against Alek Manoah?
Excuse me?
Your success today as a team, what's that going to be against Alek Manoah? What will you have to do to get to him?
Just play our game like we've been doing all year. We got to play defense. That's our strong suit, and we got to score runs. So I think we do those two, but we'll be all right.
In the front, far right.
JP, we talked about it before, but when you first came to this organization, you look at yourself as a player and where you're at now, and even Mitch had mentioned like all the players along the way that have influenced you guys getting here. Can you talk about some of those guys and what it's meant to you, even though they're not here, for you guys to be the ones to break that streak?
Oh, yeah. I got two guys in mind for me. D. Gordon, he was the first guy when I got over here in 2019. He took me under his wing and really put the love for baseball back in my heart. He taught me how to, be a leader and how to go about my craft every day. And, of course, there's Kyle Seager. I really wish he was here. But, he molded this team that's here today. He taught us how to lead. He taught us how to go about our work every day, taking ground balls every day, doing a cage or gym routine. He was in there every day at, his last couple of years. And just to see the amount of work he put in every day, I really wish he was here right now because he deserved to be here.